We'd like to welcome you guys to the AFC podcast. We're here to talk about this little baby right here, and I call her a baby. She's only 8 years old, and she can't speak for herself, nor can she defend herself against her caretakers. That is why it is the utmost importance for the caretakers to do right by these children, and I believe that there are some entities that have failed this little girl. I know a lot of people might not agree with my views, but until you can prove me wrong, I'm just saying. We're going to talk about this little baby, man, and I was lucky enough to find some more pictures of her. I'll give the credit to where that credit is due here in a moment. But this came out of Bakersville, California, and they've arrested a man who was originally on the loose. They didn't know where he was. But thanks to somebody who saw something and said something, reported this asshole on my screen right here, they've arrested this man for allegedly killing his girlfriend's daughter. I repeat, his girlfriend's daughter. Hashtag mom's boyfriend. Shout out to mom's boyfriend, thewebsite.com. Apparently, this is going to continue to keep being a theme. Mom's boyfriend killed this little girl, and she died after she succumbed to her injuries at a local hospital. Now, y'all are going to see some pictures of her. Beautiful little girl. This dude's name is Clint Mason, who is 38 years old. That means he is about a year older than me. He is accused of killing the 8-year-old girl that you guys saw on my screen. Let me get his disgusting face off of my screen. Makes me want to slap my computer. That little girl that you see right there, that's 8-year-old Ger'Mya Amira Alexander. Her name is a little bit of a tongue twister, but it's Ger'Mya. I almost want to call her Maya, but it's Ger'Mya. I'm going to put some respect on her name. 8 years old, and this man allegedly admitted to assaulting her with a belt, a metal cane, and his hands multiple times over several hours. I repeat, over several hours until she was covered with injuries. And that's according to court documents filed with the Kern County Superior Court. Not my words. Can we get a hashtag not my words? I'm just repeating what's in the courts. Hopefully everybody understands that. I get absolutely sick and tired of people in my comment section, and there's always at least one stupid idiot in my comment section talking about, this is my cousin, this is my family member. You don't know what you's talking about, DJ. You's a coon. You's tap dancing for the white man. Why is you's embarrassing our community? There's always one. Shout out to Fiend, by the way. Like he said, there's one in every family. There's always one. There's always one person who is going to defend something like this, as opposed to you see a child that is being abused, and the least you could do is have a bleeding heart for the kid. That's the part that I don't understand. It's not my words. These words are coming from court documents filed with Kern County Superior Court. Let's move on. He was described as a black man who was 6'2" and 235 pounds. It makes him a pretty big guy. He was last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt. Mason walks with a limp due to a pre-existing injury. He was last seen on foot in the area of the homicide, and he does not have access to a vehicle. So this man is 38 years old and can't drive. You know why? Because he's a thug. He's a fucking idiot. That's why. Hashtag where's the biological mom? Hold your horses. We're going to get there because we're going to talk about that. How many people are ready for me to really give you guys the lowdown about all of this? If you are, please click that thumbs up. It'll help share our stream and let other people know that we're live. All I ask for you guys to do is click that thumbs up. We have a good amount of people here that are able to find it in their hearts and their budgets to be able to donate to the stream. So for everybody else, make sure you guys click that thumbs up, okay? We should have about 200 thumbs up. So make sure you just click it. It doesn't cost you anything, all right? According to court documents, hashtag not my words, Clint Mason admitted to assaulting Ger'Mya Alexander on March the 18th. That was only what? 10 days, 11 days ago? One of my moderators, can you guys answer that question for Christina Jackson for me? Just tag her and send her the information so I can go ahead and keep going with the story because I don't want to miss those whenever people ask about that, okay? Now, he assaulted her back on March the 18th in an attempt to get her to complete household chores because she didn't finish her homework. Now, how many times have you guys heard this story? How prevalent is this type of story in the black community when a kid doesn't do what you want them to do or they're not going in the direction that you want them to go? What's the first thing that a lot of black parents, not all, but too many of us know this story of when our parents want us to do something, what do? We get beat up for it. I know y'all might not call it being beat up or abused, but it is abuse, okay? When you are getting beat with metal rods or anything that mama or daddy can find and they grab the first thing they can find and hit you with it, that's abuse. A lot of you guys are suffering trauma and don't realize it. That's not a smart way to raise kids. If you don't have the mental capacity to reason with a child, if you don't have the mental capacity to reason with a child, then in my opinion, you are not a suitable parent. It does not mean that if we overcome it, that our parents are bad people. What it means is that they made bad choices and we should not continue to allow history to repeat itself. Hopefully everybody understands that. You should not put your hands, feet, or other objects on children to get them to do simple things that you want them to do. I'm sorry, but I don't have that problem. I don't have to beat my daughter up to get her to do what it is that I want her to do. Daddy speaks and shit moves. That's a respect thing that daddy incorporated with his daughter, me, from the moment that she was born. And that's where it has to start. That's where the work starts. It starts from the moment that these kids are born. It's a day in and day out thing. It's not just some stuff you just be like, I'm your parent, do as I say, and bow before me. Like, that's not the way it works, okay? Now, let me go back to this picture of this dude, this despicable looking. Look at this dude's face. I'm sorry. He does look like a melted Twix. Like he really does. The left side or the right side. I don't know. But he has this face that looks like it says, no doesn't mean no. Right? Let's go back. Let's look at this face. He's got that no don't mean no face. Some people might wonder, what is the don't mean no face? A rapist face ass nigga. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody tells him no, he's just like, nope, no, don't mean no. Right? Catch this. After he beat this baby up for not doing her homework, that baby right there, he then put her in the bedroom for the night. I repeat, he then put her in the bedroom for the night. Hashtag, where the fuck is mom? How does he have this much access to a child that does not belong to him? And mom is nowhere to be found. So this little girl had all kinds of opportunities to be beat up or maybe even worse. Do y'all hear me? How do y'all know worse didn't actually happen? Y'all think that he just beat this girl to death and didn't do anything else? He just got to rape his face. I'm sorry, he does. The baby right there with Peppa the Pig. Man, that breaks my heart. She's just a baby. Peppa the Pig. Busy day at school. I remember when my daughter was that age. And I promise, man, like, I'm so glad that me and my daughter's mom, we didn't have to go through any BS raising my daughter. It was a pretty smooth transitional period to get her to where she's at now. Okay? Ger'Mya Alexander was found unresponsive on Wednesday, and efforts by paramedics to revive her failed. She was pronounced dead after arriving at a local hospital. Bakersville Police Department said there were obvious signs of trauma, and Ger'Mya Alexander was not breathing when police arrived at the apartment. Instead of seeking medical attention for the child after the assault, the boyfriend, Mason, reportedly told police he took her to the bedroom for the night. The document said he allegedly found her unresponsive later that night. Can we get a Captain Obvious in the building? Where's Captain Obvious? Is Captain Obvious in the building right about now? It's pretty obvious Mom was nowhere to be found. And I wonder, what the hell was she doing? Was she at work? What was she doing? Was she doing some illicit deeds? Was she doing some illicit deeds of breaking news? Where was Mom after all this time? The document said that the boyfriend Mason told the girl's mother about what he did, and then he ran his ass away from Bakersville to Los Angeles, to LA, instead of reporting the incident. Other children witnessed the assault, according to the report. How about that? So that means that there were other children there. Guys, do y'all hear me? Oh, the chat's not moving on the screen. Sorry about that. Sorry, let me refresh it and see if I can fix it. Thank y'all for letting me know. Should be moving now. There we go. And while you guys are here, please click that thumbs up. We're doing pretty good, but we need a few more people to click that thumbs up. We're just shy of 200. We got 168. Let's try to get it up to at least like 200. We got enough people here to do it. Just click that thumbs up when you come in. It'll bring more people in. You'll watch that number go up just a little bit, okay? Now, other children witnessed the assault, according to documents. So what does that mean? That means that they're going to be witnesses, and that means that they probably had other kids there. And I think one of them might have actually been his own kid that watched him beat this baby up, who was definitely not his kid. Reportedly, Ger'Mya's mom, matter of fact, do y'all want to see the biological mom? Ooh, let's get her face up on this screen. Y'all, how many people want to see who the biological mom is? Y'all ready for this? Boom. Reportedly, on the right-hand side of the screen, Ger'Mya's mom, who is 33-year-old Amber Fisher, went to work that morning, leaving her daughter in the care of her boyfriend, 38-year-old Clint Mason, her old beloved thug. According to some news sources, Clint is the father of Amber Fisher's youngest child. So it makes me also wonder, how many other kids did she have? That's the biological mom right there. That is Amber Fisher. Now, you guys might be wondering where I get my information from. Where did I get all of these pictures from? How is Just Jay so good at what he does? Well, I like to think that it's not just me. It's a collective of people. My particular source was called SufferTheLittleChildrenBlog.com. That's where I found this information, and I'm glad that they put it out there, because I believe that the mom abandoned this baby because everybody knows that this dude was violent. Family members know that this dude was violent. So if the mom know that this dude was violent and she left her kid around a violent dude, then to me, the mom is also guilty of allowing her daughter to be in this situation. Do you agree or do you disagree? He was arrested the next day in Inglewood at a Motel 6 in Inglewood when he was identified as the boyfriend of the 8-year-old's mother. Mason was brought to Kern County Jail after his arrest on Thursday, and he faces 3 felony charges, including first-degree murder, which y'all know as either life in prison or a death sentence if you get convicted, torture, and willful cruelty to a child. He's being held in the Lerdo Justice Facility without bail. No bail. And is scheduled for arraignment on March 30th, which is tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. So you guys make sure and follow that. What's really concerning me is the charges against him leave so much up in the air as to what he may have done to this sweet little girl. There's no charge of battery, which leads me to believe that police don't think that he beat or bludgeoned her. So what the fuck did he actually do? According to true crime blogger Casey Renee on YouTube, shout out to her, Amber's family has stated that she and Clint had a volatile relationship and that he had violent tendencies. That dude. Reportedly, the police had gotten involved in the past, possibly responding to a domestic situation, although it appears no charges were ever filed. Bookmark that. We'll come back to it. Hold on, guys. We're going to come back to that, okay? Now, a family member who set up a GoFundMe page, of course, why have insurance when you have benevolent white people in your corner, and you just put up a GoFundMe for $30,000, $50,000, $100,000, and you're going to get money from some random white people, right? So why have insurance? Why have life insurance? Kids apparently don't need life insurance. So what do we do as black people since we can't bury our own children? We put up a GoFundMe for support. Describe Ger'Mya as a sweet, beautiful, smart girl with the brightest smile who was supportive, hardworking, and very understanding. She always made those around her smile. At such a young age and so full of life, she made a difference in everyone and cared deeply about people she crossed, said the family members. She was always a big help to her brothers, who will dearly miss her. I'm going to read that again. She was always a big help to her little brothers. So that means there were boys that watched her be beat up, who will dearly miss her. She always wanted peace and never no negativity. That actually means negativity because that's a double negative, but I digress. We understand. Maya was such a beautiful spirited little girl and always wanting to pray to God. Demond, whatever, D-E-M-O-N-D. How do you say that? Demond or Demon? Demon Coleman is the organizing the organizing person on this particular fundraiser. Okay? So if this little girl was all of these amazing, precious things, like the family says, then why can't their family and their community and their church and their people, their inside circle, why can't they just raise the money? Forgive me for asking questions that make sense. Let's go ahead and give you guys the fair usage and let you take a look at the news videos. And there's a small interview that I want you guys to hear. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. You guys, all right, I did miss a few donations. Let me give a shout out real quick again to Last Chance, to Keyshawn Johnson in the chat, to my guy Garrett Camp in the chat, said check on yearly memberships. Okay, thank you, Garrett. I appreciate that. Also, shout out to Peach Cutie Pie if she's still there. Let me see, to Jeannie F said $5 for the Angels. So thank you very much for your super chat in the Cash App. Let me also say thank you to Annie Dickerson, who sent us $10 by way of super chat. Said she's my #1 fan, and I thank you guys so much for that. I truly appreciate that. Also to Helen Smith in the super chat, who sent in, I think that's Australian money, I believe. But thank you, Helen, if you're listening. Thank you also to Shalena and Brenda Smith. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Here we go.
Search is on for the man accused in the death of an 8-year-old girl in central Bakersfield tonight. 17's Nicole Gitsky joining us live from where that child was found. Nicole, good evening.
Good evening, Jim. Well, just before 6 this morning, officers received reports of an 8-year-old girl not breathing at an apartment on San Dimas Street, just south of Highway 178. When emergency personnel arrived on scene, they found the girl had obvious signs of trauma. They rushed her to the hospital where she died. Police are looking for what led to the death of an 8-year-old Wednesday morning. Officers responded to a residence along San Dimas Street around 5:44 a.m. where they found a young girl with no sign of life. Emergency personnel started life-saving efforts, but at the hospital, she died.
I got a phone call this morning from someone stating that my niece Maya was unresponsive at her mom's house and to get to the hospital. So
that's the aunt, okay? And I know the audio is a little bit garbled. I have it turned up at a decent rate. I don't have it turned up too loud. That's just the way it sounds. It sounds a bit garbled, so I'm sorry about that.
I got in my car and proceeded to go to Memorial Hospital. That's when we find out that she was deceased.
At this time, officers are looking for this man, Clint Mason, on suspicion of murder.
An arrest warrant was obtained for Mason for homicide, and efforts are being made right now to locate Mason.
Mason is the victim's mother's boyfriend who shares one child together. The family describes him as a violent man.
Very negative person, very violent person. We've had altercations with him before and had to call the police because he's a very violent individual.
Oh, really? How many of y'all heard that? How many people we got watching right now? 264. Guys, our goal is always 500. Click that thumbs up. We're still under 200 thumbs up. Let's get about 13 more people to click that thumbs up. Let's hear that again. Said he was always violent. Always violent. Let's listen again. Y'all said the audio was fine? Okay. Let's listen again. Let's hear what she just said.
And efforts are being made right now to locate Mason.
Mason is the victim's mother's boyfriend who shares one child together. The family describes...
To answer your question, no, he's already been caught. He's already been caught. And Captain Courageous, I saw your earlier comment. You are right. You are absolutely right. Yes, he's already been caught. Listen again. Listen to how violent this little nigga is. Listen again.
Describes him as a violent man.
Very negative person, very violent person. We've had altercations with him before and had to call the police because he's a very violent individual.
And efforts are being made right now to locate Mason.
Mason is the victim's mother's boyfriend who shares one child together. The family describes him as a violent man.
Very negative person, very violent person. We've had altercations with him before and had to call the police because he's a very violent individual.
Y'all heard that, right? Everybody heard that.
Him as a violent man.
Very negative person, very violent person. We've had altercations with him before and had to call the police because he's a very violent individual.
He's a very violent individual, and you chose to date this man and keep your kids around this man, and even worse, you procreated with this nasty ass dude. You had a kid by him, or two kids. It sounds like she might have had two kids by him. That is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry, but I did not know there was that much of a shortage of men in this world that y'all had to resort to dudes on the brink of going to jail for being violent and being child abusers and child molesters, to actually having dudes in jail, got girlfriends ready to go as soon as these dudes get out of jail. I don't understand that. I really don't. I really don't understand how that works. There can't be that shortage of men in this world. It really can't be.
Mason was last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, and he walks with a...
Thank you. Whoever said that. Somebody said mom never did a background check. Thank you, Jessica. So just like the family of last week, y'all go back and watch that show, try to argue with me and tell me, well, you don't think to go do a background check. Why would you just bring anybody around your kids and you not do your due diligence and find out who the hell you have around your kids? This is another, matter of fact, that's probably going to be our goal the whole rest of the year. We're going to continue to keep giving you example after example after example why you should go get a background check. When you have a man who has a face like that, go get a background check. When your boyfriend or some dude trying to holler at you on Facebook look like this, go get a background check.
Limp. He is described as African American, 38 years old, 6 feet 2 inches tall, and 235 pounds. According to BPD, Mason was last seen on foot in the area of the homicide and does not currently own a vehicle. He has family in the Los Angeles area and may be attempting to return there. Well, this is still an ongoing investigation, and anyone with any information is asked to call BPD at 661-327-7111. Reporting in Central Bakersfield, Nicole Gitsky, 17 News.
Here's the next video.
Bakersfield police are thanking the public for their help in arresting a suspect in a young girl's death. 38-year-old Clint Mason was arrested this morning in Inglewood, California. Mason's a suspect in an 8-year-old girl's death. Yesterday, officers were called out to an apartment on San Dimas Street after receiving a report of an 8-year-old girl not breathing. Officers found the child, who was transported to a hospital where she died from her injuries. Mason is being transported back to Bakersfield, where he will be booked into the Kern County Jail for murder.
Welcome back. 17 Crime Watch tonight. The search is over this hour as police have arrested a man accused of killing his girlfriend's daughter early Wednesday morning in Bakersfield. Clint Mason was arrested near Los Angeles this morning. Officers brought him back to Bakersfield, where he's facing a murder charge. Bakersfield police say officers found Mason at a Motel 6 in Inglewood this morning. They say they took him into custody without incident. The victim has been identified as 8-year-old Ger'Mya Alexander. On Wednesday morning, officers found Ger'Mya not breathing at an apartment complex on San Dimas Street. First responders later.
I'm going to back this up. I think my eyes might be playing tricks on me. Shout out to the Ghetto Boys. I'm going to just ask a question. I'm just asking a question. Do you guys see anything wrong with this street? With the name of this street? We got 269 people watching. Make sure you guys click that thumbs up. Let's try to get 250 thumbs up before we close out. Does anybody see anything wrong with the name of the street, the cross street? This is so funny that the mom is so desperate for a man, and this mom lives on a street called Homemaker. Guys, you can't write a script better than this. You cannot write a script better than this. Guys, I didn't Photoshop this. This is the actual news video that says Homemaker. Homemaker. Am I pronouncing it wrong? Is it Homemaker? It looks like Homemaker. They live on Homemaker the street, and you have a hoe, yes, the mom is a hoe, for sleeping with a thug who killed her kid. Yes, it's her fault. Why is it her fault? Because her entire family said that this man has always been violent, and they've always had to call the police on him, and she still kept her kid around him. I bet you she probably was fighting the biological father and not letting him get custody or see his kid. But you let the thug on Homemaker Street have all kind of access to your kid. And I can almost guarantee you, if he was willing to beat this little girl up, I can almost guarantee you, as much as I hate to say it, he probably molested this little girl. And I hope that the autopsy does not report that. But whoever said that in the chat earlier, I think it's true. Homemaker Street. Isn't that something?
Ger'Mya Alexander. On Wednesday morning, officers found Ger'Mya not breathing at an apartment complex on San Dimas Street. First responders later pronounced her dead after rushing her to a local hospital. Family members tell us Mason is the boyfriend of the girl's mother. The family started a GoFundMe page asking for help with funeral expenses. We've included a link to that GoFundMe account on our website, kget.
Do y'all want to see the GoFundMe page? How many people want to see the GoFundMe page? And let me give a shout out to Christina Jackson, who sent in a PayPal. So if you are listening, I want to say thank you very much. Actually, yours just came in. Let me thank, oh no, she actually sent in a little bit more than that. Let me read hers. So Christina, if you're listening, I did get yours, and let me read your message. If you sent a message. And she said, oh, Marina donated, and she said a new hashtag that the AFC can use is hashtag having my baby's killer's baby. Oh my, wow. Wow. That's pretty deep. Let me thank Christina, who said, thank you for covering the story about my cousin. May she rest in peace. Oh my goodness. Wow. Christina, type me in the chat again. I love it whenever we have a family member who understands, who can listen to our story and understand the message that we're trying to get across. I'm going to give you a moderator rinse so I can find you a little bit easier. But if you get a chance, just type your name in the chat. I saw your name, but I missed it. Let me see if I can find you again. Right there. There you go. I'm going to add you as a moderator here for a little while. And I want to say thank you not only for your donation. She said, thank you for covering the story about my cousin. May she rest in peace. Christina, that really touches me. And I want to say thank you so much. To me, when something happens to a family member, especially for babies who can't speak for themselves and can't defend themselves, it is so vital that the family members come out and at least speak on behalf of the children. And I'd like to thank you for having the courage to do that. Because so many times on this show, we've actually watched people in these videos that come out and they try to speak on behalf of the person that killed the kid and said, well, that's not the person that we know. I don't believe that this person did this. I believe that the police got it wrong. As opposed to just looking at it and saying, what happened to this baby should not have happened. And I think that we always need to make sure and put our babies first. Said the mom, aka Amber, needs to be in jail and she's at home safe and it's not fair. Uh-oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna read her message again since I interrupted a little bit. She said, the mom, Amber, needs to be in jail and she's at home and she's safe and that's not fair. I 100% agree with you. Matter of fact, let me take it a step further because I agree with you. I'm gonna take it a step further and say that DPS, CPS, or whoever it is needs to go in and investigate this mom, do an investigation, and knowing the fact that everybody's already admitted that this man has been violent since day one, they need to take her children. I believe that the government, hold on. I am on my damn show. Let me call you back. I personally believe that CPS or DPS needs to come in and take her children. I think the government needs to come in and take her ovaries, hashtag TTO, but I digress. I don't think she needs to have any more reproductive rights, and I do not believe that she needs to have any more access to those children. How many of you guys agree with what I just said? Let's finish up. Let's wrap up with this.
GoFundMe account on our website, kget.com.
Whoa, she trying to twerk. That's why her sister, what you doing? She trying to pop her ass.
Give me a second. Hold on, just a second. Because I need to give you guys the context of this. I'm not sure if this is the last video of this baby, but this is her in one of the last videos of her. Let me show you guys this. This is the baby, Ger'Mya Alexander, and I want her to rest in peace and put her prayer hands up in the chat for this baby. Here we go.
Whoa, she trying to twerk. That's why her sister, what you doing? She trying to pop her ass. Put her leg up there.
And then you just log out.
Whoa, she trying to twerk. That's why her sister, what you doing? She trying to pop her ass. Put her leg up there.
Yes, this is the baby. Of course, this is her being a little bit younger. But I don't even know if this is the last actual video that they have of her. I don't even like the fact that somebody said, look, she trying to twerk. Like, what would she even know about that? Just sometimes we tell on ourselves, man. It's just a baby. And this baby was failed by her mother and by mama's boyfriend.
Whoa, she trying to twerk. That's why her sister, what you doing? She trying to pop her ass. Put her leg up there.
And then you just log out.
And I'm going to tell you guys this. Christina probably said it best. And I admire her for speaking out and saying something by saying that the mom is at home and the mom is safe and she should be in jail. And I think that we've explained that pretty clear of why she should be in jail, because of the fact that she knew this man was violent. She chose to be in a relationship with this man, and knowing that it's a dangerous situation, you bring your kids around this and you procreate with a man like this. You're intentionally putting your children inside of what I like to call the nigga zoo. You put your children around a nigga lion, and that nigga lion mauled up and killed your baby. That's the nigga lion in the nigga zoo. And I think that what we have to do is we have to start disassociating ourselves from the trash of our community like that dude. That dude does not represent black people. Somebody tell me if somebody say something, if you agree or disagree. That dude he does not qualify as human. He does not qualify as black. He does not qualify as a man. He does not qualify as a citizen. He ain't shit. And I hope that they throw the book at his ass and split his head open in court. Because he needs to do every minute, every second of that time, not 80%, not 70%, not a furlough, not a pardon, all of the time. If not, give his ass the ultimate penalty. Definitely life in jail, or give him the ultimate penalty under law. That baby that y'all see on my screen right there cannot speak for herself, nor can she defend herself. What was this baby supposed to do? To me, that's my favorite picture of her right there, of all the pictures that I found. Because to me, as a father, this put it into perspective right there, who this baby is. That right there does nothing but bring back memories for me when my daughter was her age and looked exactly like her. I would do anything to protect my daughter. I have done anything and everything to protect my daughter. Now, why couldn't this mother do the same for her kid and her other kids is beyond me. But you know why she did it? Because of her own selfish thoughts and desires. The mom wanted to get her some sexual desire at the behest of her own kid. And mom, if you're listening, I hope it was worth it. Because this baby is now in heaven. You'll never be able to see her again. And she will never be able to be harmed by another one of your shitty ass boyfriends. I think the mom needs to be investigated. She needs to have her other kids taken. And she doesn't need to be able to produce any more kids. That baby that y'all see right there deserves a chance. I don't know what was going on with the father, but if he has a story, I would definitely love to hear it. Look at this dude. Look like a straight, like he looked like a fruitcake. I'm sorry, but he's sitting there. Y'all see this picture? Let me blow this up. Maybe y'all can't see this weird looking ass, questionable ass pose by this little thug, supposed thug dude. Let me blow this picture up. Where's that picture at? I'm gonna make this picture bigger so y'all can see this. Y'all eyes are not playing tricks on you. Look at this sweet ass looking dude right here. Y'all tell me he don't look sweet. That's probably why he's so damn violent. Because he's confused. This man is oh, lip noodle wrist having ass? Tell me this dude don't look sweet. Look at that picture in the bottom right hand corner. Come on, man. Come on. This dude is sweeter than diabetes. I promise you that. Portraying himself as a thug, but he like one of those undercover. He's like one of them undercover thugs on the DL. That's what he is. Hashtag top or bottom. We're going to take a vote on that. Do y'all think he's a top or a bottom? I'm just saying. You act hard and you take hard. Let's go ahead and close this thing out. This baby right here deserved better. She had such an innocent smile. She seemed to be a very loving young lady. And the fact that they said that she loved being in church and she loved to pray, to me, that meant that she also had an amazing spirit as well. And those are the type of spirits that I believe need to thrive in this world, as opposed she was a good kid, man. That's all I could say. She was a good kid. She seemed to be a good student. She seemed to be loved from a distance. And I just really wish she was in the hands of people that actually loved her. But because the mom had legal custody, she legally was able to do whatever she wanted to do, which robbed everybody else of a chance to be able to save this baby. Because if somebody could have saved her, I can guarantee you they would have, okay? So let's go ahead and wrap it up like that before I say something that's going to get me in further trouble. This is your boy DJ Just J. We're the AFC, where we advocate for children first. That's what the shirt means. AFC means advocate for children first. And I thank all of you guys. I thank all of our channel members, all of our patrons, everybody who likes, shares, and subscribe to this story. Let's continue to speak for these babies. Let's give them a voice, okay? From my heart to yours. I love you guys. We'll see you guys on the next show, okay? Peace.